Miss Real Estate Extraordinaire, right?
Oh, I don't know. I kind of feel like a non-profit realtor at the time. This economy.
Which right now she has a nonprofit going with the real estate and all that. But I adore Aralyn for many reasons. We met when we were doing one of the tribes with Tim Matier in a show called In the West, and she had never acted before. This was back in 1985. Mm-hmm. But she filled the theater because she had the biggest chingon book of all the clients in all of Austin, Texas. So we became a cult classic, literally. We ran for 8 years, partly because of her appointment book. So anyway, I'm glad you're here, Aralyn.
Thank you. I grew up in Oklahoma on Highway 66, and I used to tell people that because I saw the map, that I grew up in a little town halfway between Amarillo and Oklahoma City. And my mother would always say, Aralyn, don't tell people that. Tell them you live 2 hours west of Oklahoma City. We don't want to be associated with Texas. And now I live here. But anyway, I was a small town girl, and Girl Scout, cheerleader, honor society, you name it. And I pretty much stayed that way. I was the only hippie in the 60s still wearing a bra and trimming my hair just right. And so, I've pretty much been kind of a straight arrow in a lot of ways. A lot of other people don't see it that way, but in terms of, not being a smoker or a drinker or a druggie or anything like that, I kind of fit that pattern. But in the late 80s, I got a DWI. And I went to court, and my attorney said, don't even attempt it. They've got you. Just plead guilty. We'll get you adjudicated sentence. All you'll have to do is go to all this anti-drug training and et cetera, and you'll have to go once a month to have your urine tested for drugs. And as long as that's clear, then you get off scot-free. So it was kind of humiliated, but it was an experience, as all things. And so I go monthly to this place in East Austin, which I read in the paper later, had to be shut down because of the number of rats that came in there and ate all the paperwork at night, etc. So I would go in for my little urine test. They'd follow me in the bathroom and all that kind of stuff. And so I was usually the only woman there. I was certainly the only person there that didn't have tennis shoes or work boots on, or dropped for almost falling off pants. And one time I had a rented car, so I wheel in for my, about fourth test, and I park my car and I go in and I check in, and I'm in the waiting area, and I hear this car going off with the alarm. So I go, oh, please tell me that is not my car. So I go to the door and I listen, yes, it's my car. So I go out with the keys, I open the car, I open the doors, I shut the doors, I open the trunk, I shut the trunk, I go to the passenger side. I'm just like a maniac out there. And pretty soon these two guys come out and they said, do you need some help? I went, yeah, I don't know how you get this thing off. It's a rent-a-car and I don't know anything about that. They walked over, popped the hood, boom, gone. So that's the crowd I was hanging with. They knew a few more things than I did. So let's see. How did I get that DWI? Well, it was a surprise to me and everyone who knows me. But I had been to the dentist. And this was several years ago when dental implants were brand new. And I had a tooth that couldn't be fixed anymore. And it was in the bottom part here, and they were just so afraid that if I went without a tooth that I might, lose my appetite or something. No way. But anyway, I consented to have a dental implant, which was new stuff. My dentist had never seen one done, so he wanted to come to the big oral surgeon and watch the dental implant being done so he could see what it was like. So that was fine with me, but anyway, it was a lot of coordination because it was two dentists, it was me, da-da-da-da-da. We got the dates, the time, and everything. Well, I like to have my plate really clean when I kind of do something special, like leave on a trip or get a dental implant. And so, as I would often do, I just stayed up all night. My house was spotless. My desk was spotless. All my files were in order. There were instructions for all my assistants and people involved to handle my work in case I was sleeping, etc., etc. Now, I had called about 14 of my friends and I had said I have to have somebody drive me to the dentist. Of course, they're all busy. But there were 2 out of the 14 that said, well, I have a teacher conference in the morning. If I get finished in time, I can take you at, 9 o'clock. And the other one said, well, I'm going to court, and if I don't have to go to court, they're an attorney, not on the side I was, I can probably take you. Well, it's 8:45. Neither one of them can take me. And this was before I realized you can ride in cabs. I forgot about that. Now I know. I used to think it was you'd get in a cab, they just took you off and raped you and threw you out the door. But at 9 o'clock, I figured out there was no one going to give me a ride. My appointment was 10. It was a very important appointment. And the instructions were very clear. You are to take these 4 medications. There are only 4 in the whole container. These 4 medications at 9 o'clock. And be in our office at 9 o'clock. And at 10 o'clock, we'll do the procedure. So, wouldn't you think that means you take the medicine at 9 and about 10 o'clock it starts to kick in? Yeah? Well, they were Halcyon pills. And the only thing I knew about Halcyon pills is the senior Bush guy went to Japan and got up in some big thing and threw up on the table in the dining hall. I had to swish him out. So I thought, well, worst case, I'll throw up. So at 9 o'clock, I think it's not that far. It's only about a 10-minute drive. I lived in Enfield and Mopac, and it was right there at Lamar and 290, or, right there where that big Hobby Lobby thing is there. Anyway, so I said, okay, that's it. I'll just pop these pills. I'll get in the car. I'll drive right over there. It'll be 10 minutes. I'll be there, and I'll just sit in there like a dummy and get high. And at 10 o'clock, they'll drag me in there and do that dental implant. So I get in the car. This is at Enfield and Mopac. So I go across, and I enter heading south going on Mopac. The next thing I know, there was this kind of crash kind of sound. And I went, now what was that? I don't see anything unusual. There's no reason to stop. And my God, the entire sky is turned black. I have never seen anything like that before, but it is not a problem for me. So, now, as the story continues, I want you to know from this point on, I remember nothing. Except for the last thing, which was, the sky is turned black and, actually I told you that. So I don't remember anything past that point. The things that I know are from the police report. So, evidently, I then pulled over, and there was evidently some damage to the driver's side. And so I crawled out the window. And I walked across Mopac, and I got on the median. And I was talking, or, I was probably in a play at the time, so I was reciting my lines. And it was raining. So now, all this is in the police report. I don't remember any of this. So I read the police report, and it said that the police came, and they asked me to come down from the median, and I was very cooperative, and that I was very well dressed and very clean and tidy. Oh, I was glad to hear that. So they asked me, we asked her if she had taken any drugs, and she said, yes, I have. So I go down to the police station. Again, I don't remember the ride or anything. The first thing I remember Halcyon's kind of a funny thing because you're not really there, and I guess your eyes are open, but it's like black. You can't see anything until something jars you. And so all of a sudden I hear this, take your clothes off! And I'm like, and there's this woman in front of me, short, stocky woman with her hand on her gun, and she said, take your clothes off. And I'm like, well, I won't just take my clothes off for anyone. Well, look here, all these other women are naked. So I took my clothes off, and they make you throw them out there. And then you have other little things that they put in front of you, and you put this little white outfit on, and you take all your jewelry and everything is off. And so it seemed perfectly fun to me, a little tribe, all in a little green outfits or whatever we were. I can't even remember. So then I go and I get put in the slammer. Now, it's a room about as big as this sofa, and it's got a little stainless steel toilet attached to the wall so you can't take it off. This was a new experience, and I'm there all day. So, but I'm perfectly happy because I'm on Halcyon. There's a woman in there, and I asked her what she's doing there. She's in the top bunk, and she said, well, that they had accused her of trying to pass off pharmacy scripts that were not legal. I said, oh, that's terrible. Who would do a thing like that? I know you're. So anyway, I'm in there. They come with lunch, and they throw these plastic bags through the little hole. And they have a bologna all in the same plastic bag, a bologna sandwich, some Fritos, and some kind of, I can't even remember, some kind of, dessert of some kind, a candy bar or something. So anyway, of course, I traded, because I wanted the candy bar, I traded my sandwich for the bologna for the candy bar. So I had lots of sugar going on in there. Next thing I know, there's a woman that come. There's people, I can hear them all yelling and screaming and saying bad words, things I'd never heard before, and I thought I knew them all. This woman comes in, and oh my gosh, she's mad as a hornet, and she's kicking the door, and she's screaming and yelling, and I'm sitting on the floor thinking, this woman is acting out. This is not too good. She's screaming and yelling, and she's telling them what she's going to do to them when she gets out and what she was doing, and she was saying, I was there on the corner minding my own business, and you picked me up and hauled me down here, you're against me, da-da-da-da-da. And she said, what are you in here for? I said, well, they say that I was, drinking or doing drugs or something, but I don't do drugs and I don't drink or anything like that. She came up and she grabbed my arm and she said, you fucking bitch, you lying bitch, you druggie, da-da. I'm like, so taken aback. And then I looked down at my arms and they're just open gaps. I mean, they seemed that big around. All across, just gap on both of my arms. Because I found out later that they don't do as many drug tests on women as they do on men. So they have these great big fat needles. I have little tiny veins, so they just dug in there. Of course, I'm on Halcyon. And so to get the blood, which is one of the ways they knew that I had drugs in my system. So I had these gapping arms, so I'm thinking, oh my gosh. The next thing I know, they come and they drag me out of there. They said, come with us. I go, oh my God, they're going to electrocute me. They take me in this room and they said, your attorney is here. So I go in the door and I look and I go, I went out and I said, I don't know that man. She said, get in there. Okay. So I go in and he said, so you have DWI, tell me the story. I went, nope, not telling you nothing, I don't know you. I'm not talking. So anyway, off I go back to the slammer. A few hours later, he comes again, and they drag me out, and they drag me in there, and I'm, again, real cocky. Nope, not going to talk to you. I'm too smart for that. And he said, I have pulled your criminal record. It's spotless. He acted like that was a big surprise. Never seen one before. So he said, I'm going to be able to get you out of here. Now, in the interim, my two dentists, who cannot understand why I'm not there, because I'm somewhat of a responsible person, they are calling my car phone. You know, I was one of the first people to have that car attached in your phone that went to the tower and the whole thing. So they're calling my car phone and no answer. Pretty soon somebody answers and goes, hello! And they go, we're looking for Aralyn Hughes. She drives a black Infiniti. And he said, oh yeah, they done hauled her down to the jail. She's drunk as a skunk. She's driving down Mopac with the hood of her car up, black car. She couldn't see a thing. So they're going, okay, well, you know, there must be something that happened. So they come down to the jail. They got their little dental outfits on and everything. They said, we're down here to get Aralyn Hughes out of jail. And she said, I tell you, boys, this is one of the best I've seen. This is good. The dentist and the whole thing, it's good. but she has to have an attorney. So they got me the attorney, and that's what that was all about. In the interim, my mother, who lives in Oklahoma, who is always worried, you know, they're going to drill my teeth all the way down through my leg or something, she's calling my friends and going, is she out yet? Is she okay? So my friends are like, this story started flying through the universe because everybody's looking for me. And so my mother starts calling my friends, who she has all their numbers, and they're going, well, the dentist couldn't do the work today, so we think she's gone out shopping. So they covered my ass on that one. And so anyway, I went before the judge, and she said I could get out. Then I went to the little desk to check out, and they say, okay, we want the 3 names that you listed as references or people that you knew when you came in. Okay, is Dale Whistler on there? No. Okay. Ampy Garcia? No. You know, I was naming all these people. Anybody was like, who the hell did I put on that list? And then I thought, who would I put? I put people that I thought had power, something to do with the law. So I said, is Tom Farrell on there? He's the mayor of Westlake. They said, yeah, he is. We'll let you out. So I get out. I walk across the street. I get all my things back. I make a call the cab, say, come and get me down at the jail, 7th and I-35. Thank you very much. I'll be here. Then I dial my mother, and I say, Mom, I've had the most incredible day. You cannot imagine the bargains I got at Nordstrom.
You might remember Aralyn's house when you would drive Mocac. She had the Keep Austin Weird. Have you seen her little pig car? Yeah. I love your pig. All right, our next storyteller